remember that, I forget what precept it is, it might be in the law, but it talks about the likeness, how there shall be no likeness of these after. Right. So, the second chapter, right? So that means that these nukes have to be used. Because after that war, there's going to be no existence of these things. Whatever's left, we're going to burn it up. You know? But they can't, once they've invented them, they can't just, go and place them at the bottom of the ocean somewhere and call it a day. You know what I mean? They're going to have to use for its purpose. And when they are used, these people are going to burn it up. You know, it's like in Malachi, the 4th chapter, right? Malachi, the 4th chapter is water. The day that shall burn as an oven. When you put something in the oven, and that's why they got oven mitts. You know, they got oven mitts. You try putting your hand in the oven. Just don't even touch anything. Just put your hand in the oven, and you see how hot it is in there. Now imagine a day that's metaphorical.
And that's only like a couple hundred degrees.
Exactly. You know, you ever burnt yourself? You accidentally touch a stove? For days, that shit hurt. You know, so imagine you being in there, your whole body's burning up.
We look at what happened with right. Nebuchadnezzar told him to heat up the grass. So the point where the people that brought him in there,
the Lord had put a whole different spirit on the kind of fire that's being generated by these devils that you're so physically. You know, enough for it to hey, again, I was watching this documentary, Late Great Planet Earth by Lindsay. You know, I don't know if so I watched it, and in the beginning he mentions it. He was saying that he was in the Bible where it talks about melting. He said the only thing that you can think of is nuclear missile. And he was talking about how the book of Revelation, the Apostle John, he said he described what he saw in the future by using the words that were still back in his time. You see? So when you go into all of it, all the interpretation of what is being said is all going towards one of the
the actual cut that those slides are the children, because why is all this war going on and them being in the land? Because in Isaiah, the 2nd chapter said that when all this goes down, when the heat and the judgment comes, it said the nation shall learn war no more after that. So why is it these niggas is in our land, they in the land of Israel, claim to be the children of Israel, but yet the nation is still learning war. They're still doing all this shit that it proves that those are not the real children of Israel, man. Straight like that. The nation, the war's getting worse. You got, like, I always say, like, if y'all are Israelites, right, if they're the Israelites now, why are y'all happy? That's it, like, but the Lord also so bad, he said the nation shall learn war no more. And the Lord said that when the Israelites got back into the land of Israel, that the nations were going to go up and say, let's worship the God of Jacob. Nobody does that now. Nobody, you don't even be out here like that. Y'all be in your own little secret community, small hat top, looking like 8 Lakers walking around. Like what? That ain't godly.
No. Joel 2 verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion. Sound the alarm. Shalom. It says, sound the alarm in the holy mountain. That's funny. You like my son?
Yeah, I saw the bag. I saw it. It's
crazy. It says, let all the inhabitants of the earth tremble, for the day of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, cometh, for it is nigh at hand. And that's what we talk about. Yeah, that's what we talk about, man. You know, and everything that we've been waiting for from the time of seven from Adam, this is what we've been leading up to right now, man. This is the greatest moment that the earth, the world is ever going to experience, and Lord willing, we can be on the right hand of that. That's why we give them, because that's why we out here. You know, hey, that's why, as I said in the book of Revelation, they love not their lives to the death. Because we're out here losing our lives to ultimately get eternal life. And what's better than that? It said, that's the Amplified. They don't need it. That's what they say out there. They can't spell out God with the G-D. But it says that the name is Jephthah among the heathen. So, IUIC, are y'all heathens? I mean, I got the heathenistic doctrine. It says a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness.
You gotta imagine, like, the reason that these things are being said is because, like, in a realistic sense, with the actual technology that's being used, these are very realistic effects that will be happening. You're gonna have a lot of smoke, right? You're gonna have smoke from the missiles being shot off. You're gonna have, you know, like sometimes you might have, and sometimes this even happens. You might be somewhere, maybe in your room, and you see like, you know it's sunny out, but all of a sudden there's just like quick darkness and then there's light again because you have like a cloud or like a bird that flies by. So basically, when something blocks out that light that's coming towards you, it creates a darkness, you know. And when you have explosions, what do you have? A thick dark smoke. Where there's smoke. So it is, and the mushroom cloud. So you're gonna be having a lot of that going on in that time. Remember, this nuclear destruction, these missiles are not gonna hit just America. That's why it talks about a day. Other parts of the world are also gonna get hit. That's why the earth is gonna be shaking.
It says, a great people and a strong, there has not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations.
Because those missiles, the Lord gave them. If you notice, technological advancements, it's almost like a time box. Like it was slow up into a certain period, and it's just like boom, you know, going exponentially. And then eventually, it's going to be used for this destructive time. So that in terms of nuclear technology or military technology, it's been advancing very rapidly. You know, it's been advancing very rapidly so they can use it for this time, because after this time, it's not going to be like this anymore. Now, it's described as a people, but it's not talking about actual people. Okay, it's talking about the nuclear missiles. But because of the you know, they usually, you know, Russia's not going to shoot one missile, you know what I'm saying, at America. They usually shoot like a band, you know?
And when you even think about it, it says, there have never been ever like. Now remember, this is a vision that Joel was getting. So from the time Joel's been on the earth, obviously there's never been anything recorded as a nuclear warfare. There's been wars on the earth, but there's never been a nuclear warfare. And he's getting a vision of the time of the end. And you can see, because even Albert Einstein said, right? I don't know how World War III going before, but I know that World War IV is before the sticks and stuff, which there's not going to be no World War IV, right? Because it tells you that after this, they're not going to learn. The reason why they have something called MAD, mutually assured destruction, is because that Esau and these scientists and these governmental higher up people in the world knows, everybody knows that for them, I say for a human or a low-level mindset, that if you go to nuclear war, it's going to destroy the world as you know it. That's why it says it will be the end of the world. Now, the people really think is like there will be no more humanity. But like I said about the first end of the world, people survived it. You can survive the end of the world. It just depends on how. The only way you can survive it is by the Lord. But for Joel to say it's going to be never like it, because not only are they going to be shooting missiles at each other, but then the Hawashai is going to come in this as well. And they also, now as we talking about more and more in Congress about the UFOs, UAPs, right, national defense against those things, international defense, right? And it's not even just in America, it's in the UK, it's over in China, it's everywhere. The chariots are showing themselves more and more and more. So now when these chariots become not just now as spy vehicles, but they come for offensive, these nations, they're not going to waste any type of missile. They're not going to be doing strategic shooting, we got to wait, hold this line, this missile. No, because the Lord's going to come with a great military. So all these nations are going to be like, yo, we got to use whatever we have to try to take this out. They want to empty out their armor. So after that, when they see that it's not going to have any effect on the Lord, when the Lord then destroys their armies, there can't be a day that happens like this afterwards. You got IUIC again saying that Ezekiel 38th chapter is going to happen in the kingdom. Like Revelation 20. after 1,000 years, the nations are going to come up and try to fight against with what? Like that's the main thing. Even if they had it in their mind to try to fight against the Lord and the men that are now gods, the 144,000, even if you had it in your mind to fight against us, with what are you going to fight us with? The Lord destroyed you at your highest point, easily, within an hour. What are you going to get? Right. You have no way of actually getting anything. That's why the scripture tells you that they're going to learn war no more. You want to talk about peace on the earth. You want to talk about everybody, having cooler heads. Well, the Lord gonna bring the hottest day, and then He gonna cool your heads down. The cool heads will better.
And just recently, right now, I think they said this happened November 26th. And this isn't the first time that something like this has happened before. If you're actually looking up in history, I forget when it was. But you had that same kind of thing. Now, what's also interesting is that they said that, like lights materializing. We know what the chariots is like. We got to be careful now because, we saw can obviously manipulate these things. But the point is, November 26th, and I remember mentioning this as well, how Thanksgiving was on the 28th. And what you notice is that whole time, the skies are, you can't even see past up here. For the past few years. But it is interesting how this year you had those chariots, so-called chariots, these UAVs materialize, and then you had the whole covering of the heaven, so you can't really see what's going on, above there. But this is the sign, right? Going to show you that their time is up. You said the last one was 1952. And now, chariots are showing themselves more and more forms.
It's interesting because you had Tucker Carlson, he was on Redacted, and he's been basically speaking about the chariots, and he was saying how he doesn't believe in one bit the information that they're trying to say. Like it could be some other countries that he said that he believes that he doesn't believe in people in that country. He said he believes in something spiritual, right? But the rhetoric that they're pushing out is that these spiritual entities are actually demons. So that's the rhetoric that's being pushed out now. These are actual demons that are coming here and they're basically about to attack us, and we gotta take our Christian band and call them Jesus and all that. So when Yahushua actually comes, that knowledge, that rhetoric and that mindset's already out there. That's how people gonna look at it. Especially when you don't come, looking like how you gonna look.
They called him that in the past.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very interesting because Esau does that. And they did that with the Christians in the past. What they do is he ain't gonna go with the main narrative that's easy to go against. So it's almost like he'll go with what you're saying, and then within that he'll hit you with a plot twist. Like we do acknowledge that these are supernatural beings, spiritual beings, but then they're demons. Yeah. What kind of demons? I was going to get a quick precept to back up the point that was made about these nations not coming to war against Israel, or the Israelites, when our Yahushua kingdom is established. Right? Because remember, you're not going up against the Yahushua said, I shall not meet thee as a man. So if when the scripture says the Apostle John also said that we don't know what he's going to look like, but we don't like him his appearance, right? So you got a whole bunch of redemption men, powerful, international men on the earth. You got these immortals that we can beat up right now as we speak. And it's more back to in what capacity? Or Edomite. Yeah, like in what capacity? Like in real life. Are we seeing right now? No, we're not. You can't even go back to the person. Now imagine us being gods on the earth. And you got these mere mortals. You're talking about they want to fight against, they don't come together to fight against. How they gonna do that? And especially, get this. Alright, it's the book of Proverbs 29 and verse 2. It says when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. So if they're rejoicing, why the hell would they back against us? Right? If the whole earth, as it is now, is the worst it's ever been, and under our rulership it's going to be the best it's ever been, why would anyone want to come together to fight against us? Why, in their right mind, why would they want to do that? Especially when they see the decimation of America, Babylon the Great, which was once the greatest empire that ever lived, and then within 1 hour it's destroyed by these people.
an armada, like a space force, a space, UAPs coming down. It's huge money. It's going to be documented around the whole world. The fathership, it's so huge it covers their whole entire continent. And they see all these circles black and brown people getting beat up. Like, what's going on? This is such a monumental, mind-boggling thing. And then to also put it in there in 2 Moses 13 about the war's level, what's the result of that? That's the world armies coming together to fight against the house. What happens then? They get destroyed. So that world army that was so called later on in the kingdom come together to fight us, they already got destroyed before the kingdom was even set up. So where are we going to come from? Huh? Right? So it says, but when the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn. So right now, everyone is mourning. All right? You can't tell me one person that's not mourning. Everyone is mourning. Even the Rothschilds are mourning because they all died and dropped dead, man. They said one of the Rothschilds got caught in the fire. Yeah.
That shit don't make no sense.
That's over. Even if it was, that's over.
But it's funny about that, Will Rothschild, what's funny about that is that guy, they said they found him in the house dead.
Right.
They put out the fire. But
No,
they
yo le
said
dije a
the
Nat-
cause of death is unknown.
le dije a Natalie que le
I
iba a
think he put
quedar
out with something. Hey,
They said it was carbon dioxide for the fire.
Oh, the smoke did. He said he found him by the door. Yeah. I don't know if he's trying to get to the house. He was old. He was like 80 years old. Maybe he is. Yeah. They might have taken him out.
It happened on Thanksgiving, right? On Thanksgiving, that's what
Nah.
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Also, the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But they all dropped dead. You got Abraham dropped dead. Jacob dropped dead earlier this year, right? They all dropped dead. The losing sleep. Rockefeller dropped dead a few years ago after a 7-month cancer. So your quest for immortality is vain. That's what we're telling you. All right, it's vain. And you got all these niggas 90 years old, 100 years old. Kissinger just died earlier this year too. Okay, he's another part of the Rothschild family, just disguised in a different name. Okay, but all these devils are all dropping dead, and that's an omen to let you know that this kingdom is going down. All right, they're all old, like just like the kingdom is old and wicked. This is all decrepit. It's going down. You got these young, vibrant men bringing up the new kingdom that's coming, man. All right, what's that? 2 Ezra, the 6th chapter. So Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of his that follow. So it's very, very symbolic and spiritual that a Rothschild died in his own home in a fire. You can't make this up, man. All right, and that's all an omen from the Heavenly Father. He's telling us something. All right, showing the Lord God will do nothing, but He revealed the secrets unto the servants of prophets. So He's telling us that hey, these devils, they think it's about to be a wrap.
Ya eso lo veo with
Go down in flames. Right, only with thine eyes shall thou behold the reward of the wicked, man. All right, we about to behold you devils going down hardcore, man. It's coming. All right.
Okay, so there's the book of Isaiah chapter 2.
It's like it. My bad. Who's the one?
Oh,
Some music. Joel 2, verse 3. It says, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth.
Might be in the face or one of the meetings is also like in the present talk. Present space, right? And so he basically meaning in those missiles hit, that's just going to even go into, it basically defiles everything. It's going to tell you that the land is like the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. And then you have the flame, the actual thing that propels them, especially when you look at if it's like an ICBM, they have, I think about like three channels or 3 propulsion systems where they first get launched and one takes them up into the atmosphere, drops off, the other one projects, and drives it even further. Yeah, and then at the end,
And once again, this is the vision that Joel is getting. What else could this be describing? Remember, we always say they saw the future. They saw future events. They just didn't know what these things were. So all they could do is just describe what was happening. So what it says, a fire devours before them, and behind them a flame burning. The land is as a Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, and nothing shall escape them. What can do that? What type of technology back during the long time can do that? That's only now can we say a surety, if we ask somebody, if you see a village out there, and before you look at the land, and it was nice, green trees, everything was nice, and in a matter of a blink of an eye, everything was just desolate. What do you think happened?
Yeah.
Do you ever see like some bomb drop? Bomb drops, like what could that be?
Then you go to the specifics, and then you narrow it down to something that was the devastating power of like a goodness.
Yep. It says the appearance of them is as the appearances of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run.
Because they're going to come in quote-unquote formation. Now, I actually did a lesson on this as to, I forgot what country it was that was like launching, and I think those were either, this was the rockets. Yeah, it's probably rockets. Yeah, going up. And when you actually look at it, and in the nighttime, it looked like it was like if you had horses in a raid. Because I think I actually played that video as well, where you had horses in a raid coming in. You know, which also represents like power, but the uniformity in which these missiles are going to be launched gave that appearance.
Also now, technology, a lot of countries are using drones as well. So the drones, even when Iran sent over the drones for the years, they were also in the way, like uniform traffic. So that's another thing as well. It says, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap.
And also, if you think about it, around this time, the only other logical thing that would make sense to compare it to would make sense to be a horse, because you think of horses, you think of war, right? Especially horses in like horses in that large of a number, that's where you would see in war. But at that time, there weren't many other things you could really compare that to. Even if it didn't look exactly like a horse, the only closest thing that could come to mind would be something like a horse.
You don't have to exactly what you start
Anything else?
And the weight of it too.
Yeah,
That's what matters. Yeah, the swords are very heavy. Yeah.
It says, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face,
Yeah, like it says, as a people of battle array.
oh shit.
Next one.
Oh, yep. Because they got different,
Exactly. Yep.
yeah. I forgot what was it called.
But you know how you see how easy it is to see that when you see these long videos? It only goes to that makes sense when you say, you know, like a fiery circle. When you see like a ballistic missile flying through the sky.
Because even like some ballistic missiles or cruise missiles, we have certain things that are guide missiles.
Right.
And then you have other ones that are just like, how you said, they just like go like this, and you just hope that they hit the target. Like, that's why it be like bomb the school, like that might not be even the target. Like, oh shit. But that's like when you look at a snake in the grass, it goes like that. So
And we have the smoke trail.
right, that's a fiery circle. It says, before their face, the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness.
So once again, what is it that people look at and you can see that? Like Joel, imagine this, Joel is seeing this. That's why he's describing. He's like, yo, I'm seeing this joint, and this thing before it lands, you can see the people. You know, they all stressed out, red face, needle mics. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody looking hurt.
Oh, yeah, right. This would prank people be all stressed out and shit. Like some ladies running to the basement. Yeah, it's a prank. And she gets all heated and shit.
You see that one Jake, I think it was his grandfather.
Oh, really?
And he was like, we gotta go, goddammit. He's like, where we gonna go? He's like, I don't know. He said, call the government. But that's how Jake is gonna be, because you're just completely clueless, and the Lord said that they're gonna come upon you every day. You gotta really think about it. In America, a lot of people they're under the normalcy bias to the point where they really don't think that America actually can get hit by a missile. And as we always say, America is involved in so many different fronts of wars with nuclear capable enemies. And the Russian, I always mention that the Russian guy said that America, he said, I direct this message to the American people. You cannot sit out this one. That is that virgin whore. You can't sit aside on the sideline now. You can't bring the war to the Middle East and bring it to the Eastern Europe and bring it to China. Now they're going to bring it to you too.
Y la ropita también, mejor cuando vamos allá vamos a Jerusalén y no voy a decir tampoco de ellos.
Our message isn't coming to give you a message. You know, and you know what's funny, right? These are the people, you know, the people that the message is to are the people that are listening. We're watching, we're telling them, look, you got in real time, the people that are going to be the ones to blow your ass up, I'm telling you, you ain't going to be able to sit this one out. They don't care.
Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 14. I'll start at verse 13. It says, because of the wrath of the Lord, it should not be inhabited. And it's talking about America, because it talks about daughter of Babylon. The same daughter of Babylon mentioned in Revelation. Right, but this is Jeremiah, right? It says, but it should be wholly desolate. Everyone that goes by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. And that's kind of happening right now. But when this place gets like when annihilation starts, that's when it's going to be like, people going to be like, oh shit, like, you know, the Americans that didn't get a phone call or didn't get out of town, there's going to be a lot of motherfuckers. They're going to be like, yo, this is it. Right.
Sometimes you hear somebody just talking to you, this happened. Years will be like,
Actually, it says, when you go into NLT, it says, because of the Lord's anger, Babylon will become a deserted land. All who pass by will be horrified and will gasp at the destruction they see there. So that means, yeah, I'm about to say, I was going to say that the smoke, we were talking about the smoke that shall be like leaving Babylon after the destruction. If the nation's still going to be around in their native lands, they're going to be like, damn, that was going to America. Everybody's going to know what this was, but that's what this is talking about. Jeremiah saw that, but the point is in verse 14, it says, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. All these nations talk about, yo, America can't sit this out. Yeah, we designed, North Korea talk about, we designed this ICBM to attack anywhere in America. You think that's just a joke? And then that same Monday after they had a UN meeting, the dude from North Korea said, yeah, we're going to speed up our nuclear development. That after he just said the ICBM was designed to hit America. After he just said that.
I think I heard some video of this lady interviewing about the nuclear stuff. And the interviewer go ask him, so the nuclear missile shot up to the first and you turn around. And she's like, no. And the scriptures tell you that, right? Who may turn it back? The plagues have been said, who may turn it back?
Oh, speaking of which, it says in verse 14, after it says, put yourselves array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. It says, spare no arrows, so everything, like your brother said earlier, everything being made is going to be used. He said, spare no arrows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because look, when you get to the point of a nuclear war, like the other was saying, you ain't gonna be talking about, well, let me be strategic and let me be 1-2 little jabs, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna come in with that. No. They're gonna say, listen, first off, the first person who shoots it off has an advantage because based on where they hit. A nuclear missile is not a regular bomb. You know, it has like that double effect. So they're gonna be like, look, if they're shooting nukes at us, we better launch our shit now before we don't get an opportunity to launch this shit. You know, that's why they got that red button and it follows the president wherever he goes. Because in the case he got a question, you don't have to press that. Whether you like it.
So Putin had mentioned that if they were to strike Ukraine, it would be a decapitation strike. In other words, they're going to go straight for Kiev. They're going for the decision makers. The same way America, if they try to hit Russia, they're going to go for whatever missile sites they can hit to try to downsize whatever the response would be.
Exactly. Because they know one will be coming like that.
And especially the energy grids. When they hit that, once they hit the power plants, it doesn't matter what your protocols are. The messages are going out. So, yeah.
And the more how the Indians fuck up Americans missiles system, they can't shoot this shit back. Or them shits explode in the silos.
That's what the Asians would do. A lot of these reports are saying that they're coming up
active military bases where they got their missile silos. You know what I mean? So they
Yeah, but like Zaquan was saying, the Mossad might end up fucking the Babylon's missiles response. I was watching like a documentary on like the submarines and the nuclear protocols, and the whole thing was like the missiles are so durable, right, and heavy that you can hit it with a hammer, like not the hammer of a nail, but that shit you break rocks with, and it won't explode. So yeah, they make it really, really durable. So I'm saying, like, when the scripture says that when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be deterred or in any way harmed. That's like extremely real. You know, you can have a missile hit it and just say, oh well, it was just rough science.
He said about the one he just launched. He said that there is no defense worthy. Yeah. Because like if you look at the Iron Dome, they got the Iron Dome. But when you look at the Iron Dome, the reason why they was able to defend them because they were shooting up rockets. They hit the rocket on the rocket and destroy the air. You don't got nothing like that. You can't. You can see it. That was missing that he used for the last week. He said they traveled 2.5 miles a second. Yo. Damn. I'm like, yo, 2.5 miles a second. Minus 30 seconds. That's not even the fastest I can get.
Yo, and this is why, like you're saying, Babylonians don't listen. Whenever they want to compare themselves to Russia, they always want to look at like the economics thing. Oh, we're the market centers of the world. We output more and this, that, and the third. Well, you may have like a better infrastructure. You may have like more government agencies that help the people, but that's because they put their money somewhere else. Whereas you're now putting your money in things that can protect you or cause harm to someone that may harm you. That's what you're doing day in and day out. And that's why the men out there are much more strong and much more patriotic. Ain't nobody in America patriotic anymore. You know, today, here it is, they're fighting in the name of Russia, knowing damn well that Russia's invading another person. If you tell an American, let's go and invade another person, they niggas ain't gonna do that shit. You know, yeah, exactly. They're not that. So, you know.
These people are out of check with reality. Because when they think of war, they imagine the days when America was like that at that time. Don't get it twisted. The U.S. does have a dangerous arsenal. You know, that's why these countries don't just immediately just allow shut up. No, they know that they can still get their shit popped. But prophecy is going to work against the U.S. It's not about how strong their arsenal is. Like you said, most of us said, you're going down, even your own weapons will turn against you. You know? You're going to go from your telephone pointing to your missile phone pointing. You know, and that's just destroying your land. And I forgot, I think it was Apostle Rambam bringing this out that on top of the actual fire of the missiles themselves, you have things like special power plants, nuclear facilities, and they're going to go. You see those giant
Oh shit.
they plug into the ground, you know, to either when they come to a certain area, to pump the gas in there. It's how when you can't build, you take the gas, pump the gas up. You actually got to transport that shit, plug it in here, so they got those pipes under.
I said, you see, a lot of houses blowing up recently. They be like exploding.
Yeah. Yep.
Why is that? That's from the inside and underneath.
So when those missiles hit, that fire is there.
brother,
You're gonna have the fire that's gonna come from underneath, you know, the pipelines and all that, the actual fire from the missiles and the people. What's that, Isaiah 34? You know, so that's why the scriptures over and over and over again describe it as a day of great destruction. And being up in them chariots, man, it's gonna be a sight to behold. You know?
You got that Yellowstone.
Oh, the volcano.
Yellowstone, bro, that's the biggest mega super volcano on Earth.
And it's here, right?
Yeah, it's out there, out in the west. So imagine hitting that with a SIG 2. Try taking the arrow off the sky once it's shot. You can't do it. Yeah, the arrow isn't propelled by rocket fuel.
No, you know what? But not Russia, who just said to get the SIG 2 ready. Get it ready for Oh, also, you have the U.S. military insiders. They basically said that all of the simulations that they ran on basically America going to war with Russia, they lose. they lose all of the simulations. And I'm like, yo, it's crazy that even, but they're like whistleblowers type of shit. But when you actually look at America's missiles that they have, America doesn't have new missiles. They just tested a minute. Those was created back in like the 70s. So they got a lot of missiles, but they don't got a lot of new technology new technology of missiles. Russia has a lot of new type of missiles. That's why they said that one that he shot off, this is experimental. Like we're doing things that y'all don't even know about.
It's like I said, because they're investing in that while the U.S. is getting, that's why it's fearless. You know, over here, they're getting relaxed. As with the other nations are coming up.
And even because of capitalism, these manufacturers out there, whenever they manufacture something, they make sure that shit is not good enough, so you have to come back and buy shit again. I've been working on manufacturing for a long time, and then sometimes even the things we make, they'll put like, well, let's do a 20-year license. They already have an updated software ready for that. But now, let's just do 20 years. Make sure you do that for 20 years, so they come back and they have to do updates to the new system, this and that. That's what they do. They do that with the cars. Cars are not durables anymore. Cars can't last you as long as they could back then. And because of that mindset, they're always going to get rich, you know?
Towards obsolescence.
Exactly, you know. And corruption is just part of the destruction of the Roman Empire. That's why they started chipping up gold, and it's corruption, man. That shit will, you know.
Going to work like that whole subscription concept because the less something lasts, the more you put in.
Yeah.
You might as well. That's why nowadays they push leasing a car more than actually buying it.
Yeah.
Right? Because why would I buy a car that I need to buy a new one in like 2 years if I can just lease this one, quote unquote rent it, and then just update it?
Yeah.
You know? But all those things come with a catch. And so this kingdom is wicked on all facets.
Yeah.
All of it. And the more you know, that's why King Solomon mentioned, which is very key, it says, in much wisdom is much grief, right? Roughly paraphrasing. And then, what's it? He said, with a righteous man does scarcely smile. You know?
Pressure makes a wise man mad.
Yeah, because the more you learn about these things, the more you learn there's less to smile about. You know,
Isaiah 47 verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O daughter of Babylon, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And that's what, right? Being tender and delicate is being what? A prized possession. Being, being in a comfortable position. And America is not like that anymore, right? From the government, from the government on down, everything, like the brothers were saying, everything is corruptible and everything is being exposed. It says, take the millstone, grind the mills, unlock the locks, uncover the locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers.
because Babylon, when you look at it, I think it even mentions it as a mistress, right? And when you have a mistress, she's not the one running it. She's not the one doing the work. And that's why it says sit down on the throne. Like, sit on the ground, there is no throne, right? So you're being brought low, right? Because remember, the glory of the woman is her head. You know, so making bare the leg, right? Exposing them, pass over the rivers. I think that was actually when you go into that, it says that represents captivity. You know, as in taking them from one location over to another. Like, for example, what ended up happening later on with the captivity of Israel.
It says that nakedness shall be covered, there thy shame shall be seen.
That she shall be seen. And in a literal sense, right, the woman's secret's going to be seen. That's embarrassing. But metaphorically, that's representing the shame of this place, right? We are actually under the skirt of America. Like, we see this shit daily. People on the outside are not really seeing it, but due to these recent events, it's like listen up. And everybody's catching the wind, like, yo, what's really going on over there?
And that's where you have alternative media. And on the alternative media, what they call truthers, they're just exposing them. Right? There be Edomites, and there be a lot of Edomites that are for America, but they just seeing how much wickedness and how much corruption is at the top. Like they're just exposing, and that's why the scripture says your own tongue is gonna fall upon you, because these are actual Edomites. So you would think that you would want, and they do want the best for Esau, but they're looking at the people on top like, yo, you're not the best for us, so we want to expose everything. And really, we take that information and filter it through the scriptures and show, well, none of y'all gonna get it. And there is no throne. You regular, patriotic, loving, forefather Edomites, y'all not gonna be able to get America to come back to a position just by thinking that, we expose the weakness on top, the corruption on top, then we can rebuild it better. You're corrupt. If you was on top, you would be just as corruptible as them. The only thing that makes a difference between the Edomites that's low and the ones on top is that they got the position of power to do the wickedness that they do. And I believe Brother Shimon showed me a video of this, I think it was a Muslim dude talking, and he was like, the only thing that changes between American, like a regular American that's at the bottom, a working class American, and American on the top, that's doing all this wickedness like the people who's like Harvey Weinstein, is the fact that they're so rich and they're so basically feeling untouchable, they can do these things because that's the nature of America. The reason why people on the bottom don't do it because they don't have that type of luxury and power to be able to do these things. But they said, like, you look at the American culture, people on the bottom, they listen to the rappers talking about the debauchery acts that they do. They buy those CDs. They listen to the murdering and the raping and the hoarding. Like, they listen to all these things, and they actually enjoy them. But then when they actually get exposed, the people on top, they actually get exposed to actually doing it, then they want to be like, oh, it's what you're doing. He was like, well, you're listening, you talk about doing it. But again, the difference is they're on the bottom. So those black people on the bottom in America, black, they'll be doing the same thing. And that's how you know America overall is just a wicked, has a wicked side. It's a wicked mindset.
Obadiah 1:6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Right, so as the brothers have been going into exposing Esau, this is his exposure coming out. The light is being shown on what he's doing. Exposing America, Babylon the Great, that this is his rulership. The whole entire earth is under his vibration of his rulership. So part of him being exposed is what? The light coming out. As we went into earlier, people are scared of darkness, and you have the light right here. So if you're scared of darkness, you need to come into this light. But what is this light doing? It's exposing all the deeds of the elites, all right, of other wicked Israelites, of the nations. And that's why we're the most hated. See, but the Lord is searching it out through his servants, the prophets.
They made that an actual negative thing to be woke. And it's actually, they made it, now when you hear it, it's either you're like way liberal, black liberal, or you're into some like, you want everybody, every type of mindset and culture to have equality, or you're hearing the white music and they're basically like mocking that, like fighting for social justice. When you go to the actual definition, I went to it, where the term came from, it came from an African American vernacular English. So Black Americans created the term woke, and that term came from basically being having a heightened awareness and a consciousness of social injustices, especially when it comes to racism. So that's basically the plight of Israelites in America. And when you're woke to it, most of our people are asleep. They're just thinking, oh, this is just the American way, that, we have to struggle, we have to bottom, but, we can get burned by Esau, we can get a seat at the table, right, and we can get certain laws changed. If we get certain laws changed, then we can be good here. But that's not the true way to get when you're awakened spiritually, you realize that it has nothing to do with you trying to be heard by Esau. It's not has nothing to do with you trying to have a better life here. It's about repenting and turning back to the Lord. But Esau on the right now, the so-called right, they took that word woke and it demonized. So, and it's really against Jake. Because everything that they talk about being woke is really just another word for black. Oh, they're too good, they're too good, they're too far left. Because what the left is doing is both witchcraft, like I said before, because now the left, they've taken that and now they've included the alphabet people, the abortions, all that. They want freedom to do all that. But they took that and they're playing it on the minds of the people and not realizing that the true awakening is this truth. That's the true awakening. And this is what's happening right now. This is why we're out here. And when you're awakened rather, what do? You call out, you expose the wicked. Right? You as I said, First and Second Thessalonians, they should have wicked people do. And we are, our eyes are open to the fact of what this devil is doing, why we're in this situation, and how to get out of it. And that is a dangerous thing to do. Seeing Israelites awake, that is his actual down. That's him seeing his downfall. That's how you know he has no short time. The great fear. That's what it said that in Revelation 11. You can get that. It says that what? The dead bodies were asleep for 3.5 years. They weren't physically dead, but their spirits, mentally and spiritually, they were dead. But it said after 3.5 years, what? The spirit of life entered into them. And this is what Esau sees right now. The spirit of life is entering into the Israelites. And now they're aware of the social injustices. And you got prophets out here telling our people, it's not just being aware of it, because they always had a certain awareness that we were at the bottom. But they thought the way to get better would be have a better life is to try to assimilate and to try to get a sense of business. But the real way is what? To get out of captivity. And how the shy comes to live. And that is what puts Esau in fear. And now especially when you see the chariots, you see all these things that we're talking about, nobody else is speaking about the UFOs. No, should I say nobody outside of Congress and government is speaking about the UFOs except us. And we're the ones that's giving you the actual knowledge of what those things are about. You got it.
Revelation 11:8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Yep, that's here in America, right? You can clearly see the spirit of Sodom here. To the point where it's normal. It's actually normal. Esau has made it normal to be a Sodomite, to have a Sodomite spirit. I remember growing up in the 90s, the thing called the DS. It was actually something like a whole community. Even like in New York, you had where that was just where they stayed. That was just them. Nobody didn't go out nowhere. Nobody went in there. If you was around there, you was known as being a Sodomite. But now it's just right everywhere. And to the point now, you got straight. You got men that look straight, and they would date a transformer and say that I'm just straight. Yeah, I'm straight. That's a woman. Oh, wait.
Never said it was, but he thought it was normal to be caught in the car with a damn transmission.
Yep. And you got a lot of people like Bobby Valentino. You got a lot of people that would just appear to be regular men that are just into this type of lifestyle. Because that's the spirit that's here. That's why inside them, when the angels came, it said the whole town came. So yo, we want to know them. It wasn't like, yo, hide away. They was out. And it said from the greatest to the least. They was just, I was just the spirit there. Like, yo, we just here to take these men. Oh yeah, tank, yeah. Talking about you do it 2 or 3 times, you get top from the land 2 or 3 times. That doesn't make you sodomite.
Just experiment.
I'm just experimenting. I'm just trying to find out whether or not. Why are you gay?
Should I call you Mister? Okay. Now, but you know the dating things that they be doing, they pop the balloon?
Yeah.
They got that super Sodomites too, though. Don't lie. Yeah, crazy. And it's just
Yeah, there's one girl, right? She was on there, and she was like, she asked the guy, like, can I get a kiss? And the guy was like, so he gave her a kiss. And then she was like, but I have to tell you something. After the kiss, he was like, serious? And she was like, yeah, nah, she was lying. Like, it wasn't real. She actually was like, but the simple fact that that can be true is a problem. It's problematic that you can't even now look at a girl that got a crazy body and be 100% sure that that's a woman. That's like white. Oh, yeah.
And it's not even shameful to declare it. That's why she's playing around with it.
Exactly.
Revelation 11:8. Again, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
Yep. Howard Shai was there's no sense of the actual Son of God here in America, man. They completely just crossed him out. To the fact now, it's like we're talking about a myth. When we speak about the Lord, it's a myth. We made him up in our head. Like, oh, the Son of God looks like he was like. Back in the ancient world, that was no fact. Look at that Russian icons. There was no fact that the Jews of antiquity were so-called dark-skinned men. But now it's just like that's we're out of our. We got guys like Vocab that he's going on a whole Haman. That's what I'm calling it. He's going on a whole thing just to try to prove what's wrong. But every time he does that, he gets proven by.
And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer them.
Their body's not literal, but it's the state or the condition that our people are in. So right now, when you see people walking around like this, it's like to dead bodies. Because they're not alive in the spirit. Okay? So as it says, the people shall see their dead bodies, meaning the Western world is going to see Israel in this condition. 3 days, what's it? How long was it?
3.5 days.
3.5 days, right? Which actually goes into that 350-year period where we're really in that hardcore condition. Right, go ahead.
And shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves.
Right, they shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves, which represented like none of them actually came to say, yo, you know what? Because they knew. When you go to the history of like the older mention of Russian icons, they knew very well who the Israelites were. In America and all these different parts of the world. But none of them actually came out and actually were after to try and, enlighten or waking up our people to that. And there was a reason for that. Because that job, that role was reserved for the prophets. Right? 1 Corinthians 4:9.
I got a precept for that. Yeah, this is Tobit chapter 6, verse 14. It says, and now I am the only son of my father, and I am afraid lest I go in unto her and I die, and as the other before. For a wicked spirit loveth her, which hurteth nobody but those which come unto her. Wherefore I also fear. Oh God. It says, wherefore I also fear lest I die and bring my father's and my mother's life before me to the grave of sorrow, for they have no other son to bury them, showing you that the burying is very, very important. And to bury somebody means you're doing something that benefits them. That's why even and Toby said, you must bury me with decency. Because if you leave a dead body lying out there, it means you don't give a shit about them. That's pretty much a link to, their dead bodies not being buried.
If I pass and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry.
Access to anybody that
They want to try and finish those two. What would be a full righteous thing? But it tells you because sentence against the evil who's not carrying out speedily. If our movies was guarded and these married women out here, they get a lot more peace than what. Dudes would be afraid to jump in them cheeks because then you're going to be in the game like that.
Looks too cute.
Y'all ever seen that? There's a TV show called
American War.
It's Mayor of Kingstown. I think that's what it's called. I should check it out.
And shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth. That dwell on the earth.
Part of those gifts were actual Israelites and their body parts. When you go into the time period of the lynching era, that's what they were doing. They were doing like it was a common thing. Just why I always said that when you go back to that era where they had the freedom to do so, even little kids were doing it. So it's not a matter of, oh, I'm different. It ain't about that. You just don't have the opportunity as you did before.
They would show in certain documents and movies how they would keep like Jake's genitals in a glass jar, and just as a souvenir. This is my best buck here. It's keep it. They keep a finger for a remembrance. So yeah, this is when I had chop his finger off.
Made boots from skin.
Yeah.
John the Baptist.
There you go. And people say we didn't eat since God has not hated blood.
It says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet.
Brought the spirit down on the earth through different men, right? Our elders and their elders. And that's when that spirit of life came up into us. And then we started to grow, right?
The book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 5, it says, behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse.
And that was going to the time of around 1970. When the Lord put the spirit, and we believe Elijah the prophet is Elder Alpha Bivens, he is the one that the Lord used to start to have the truth being pushed out again. And it's always funny, I was thinking about how it came in Harlem. There was a thing called Harlem Renaissance, which was a rebirth. During that, and that's when Jake started to music and jazz, started to pursue Jake was basically trying to become more than slaves, more than a slave mentality. But more than that same time, you have the actual truth come out of the Harlem during that time as well. And you always say it's called One West in the West.
And great fear fell upon them which saw them. And they heard a great voice from heaven, saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud.
Right, so now that's a series of prophetic events, right? Coming up together. When you break it up, you have the period where, what that spirit of life is. And then as it says, great fear comes up, as it is now. They don't openly come to show it. We see it by trying to demonize us, trying to throw this here, sending your name in the vocab alone and around it. Those are all signs of that fear that fell upon them. Those are all signs of the fear that fell upon them. But then what does it say after that?
And great fear fell upon them which saw them, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying,
more specifically, those that really know what's going on on the opposite side, right? I think the elders mentioned that one time they were teaching downtown, and you had this limo, this black limo pull up, and you had to eat him out of the before. And he was like, how the hell did you guys find that out? They paid millions of dollars to keep this hidden, and yet we found it out. You know? So those that see it, fear falls upon them. Go ahead.
And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them.
And this is sometime after that. This hasn't even happened yet. All right? That's linked with Revelation, I think, 18 and 4. Come up hither.
Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud.
And that's literal. Okay, that's literal. The elect are actually going to go up. Just like Yahushua went up in the chariot, the elect are also going to go up in the chariot in that cloud, which is that what they call UAP now.
And I remember Apostle Tahar made the reference. It says a cloud. You know, you can imagine that it could be one, very well be one big fathership, and the elect is all going to be up in that ship with Yahweh Shai.
So shall we ever be with the Lord.
Right. Or you have the angels. We said on some angels, and I was sure sometimes when you have like a big ship. When the angels go to the big one, and then go into that one, you get your own personal angel to pick you up. This is a sex story.
And their enemies beheld them.
So they're gonna see it. They're gonna see it. They're gonna see the elected beating up, and then they're gonna see the.
In the same hour was there a great earthquake.
See? So that goes to show you within the same time period when, and that great earthquake goes to nuclear missiles. So within the same time period when the elect get beaten up, you're gonna have those missiles hit. So that's why it says the righteous shall scarcely be saved.
And the 10th part of the city fell.
So just before that destruction hit, just before the buildings collapsed, the floor floods cracking up, and all of that, the elect gonna go up.
La plata.
And the earthquake was slain of men 7,000.
Which is a complete number of individuals. Yeah, large number. Second measure is 9, right? Way compared to the drop. So how are they slain?
And the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the God of heaven.
So where would that remnant be? They ain't gonna be on earth, on the ground. They're gonna be in the chariot. You know, seeing these things. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold the Lord.
This is Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. It says, and this shall be the plague wherein the Lord Yahweh shall smite the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
So how's that gonna happen? You know, in the literal sense, you're gonna have to leave our mind. You know, it also goes into their vision and all the spoken. They're gonna conceive of the way right before it.
What's happening right now? A lot of people, when they think about the future of Babylon, it's not a, they don't think about it in common sense. They look at the way the world is going, the way America, well, what way the world is going is the way America is going. But they look at it like, yo, I don't know, man. It's not good. They don't feel good. They don't got a good vibe. We got a great vibe because Esau's at the end of his world. So when you at the end of something that's good, you're gonna feel bad. But we're at the beginning of something that's great.
That's right. That's a beautiful thing.
Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
See that? So that's how you know. The scriptures jump, you know, because then it goes into what happens after the third woe, and then it goes into jump back in time to tell you what's about to happen with the third woe. That's why you gotta have that spiritual discernment to be able to tell, okay, which part links to what it's talking about.
And the seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven, saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord.
That's why it says how the King of Kings and upon his head.
And of his anointed. And he shall reign forever and ever.
For me, that cuts IUIC. Because wait a second, it's going to reign forever and ever, but there's a pause, and then it's going to go back to forever and ever. No, it's going to be the kingdom of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua from that point out after the destruction. And you have to, like the brother said, you have to have a spiritual discernment because certain ways, and really it's written like that on purpose. It's a stumbling block. Because it's only meant, it's a jigsaw puzzle. Only the elect is meant to get it. So it's written in a way that's purposefully confusing, honestly. If you don't have spiritual discernment, you say, well, why does it say that? You know, why does it say it like that? You know, you're not going to be able to make sense of it.
Well, like it's the same way the scriptures use the word Gog and Magog. They should just make that connection right then and there. We know the Russians are Edomites, but the scriptures call them Gog and Magog. You know, and the same thing. Sometimes they're even referred to as the Medes. You know, sometimes you just got to know that the prophets may use they may say certain things in a way, but you just got to use the common sense that the Most High gave you and put two and two together. You know, because you know in their mind, if they're seeing their World War III in that region and they seeing that area get a nuke, he's just gonna say, oh, they coming against the people of Israel. They coming against that area. You know, it's the same thing. It's not really not. It's not that confusing.
Luke 2 verse 34. Simon blessed them and said unto Mary his mother, behold, this child is set for the fall and rising again of many in Israel, and for a sign which shall be spoken against. So going back to the say that the it's confusing for a purpose. It's a stumbling block for a purpose. And Yahushua, in their mind, they're thinking that they were sent to profess the Son of God, to tell Israel to repent. But really, what they're doing is setting up people to follow. One that follow them, it says that the blind be leading to the blind and go fall to the ditch. So the Lord actually set up some people to go out and cause others to fall into the ditch because he didn't want them. That's why you have in 2 Peter, it says that they were appointed unto disobedience for their own destruction. Because in order to have the elect, you got to have the ones that are not elect. And if the elect are predestined, then by default, the ones that are not elected are also predestined. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you can't fit a square peg into a circle. In other words, if one part of the scriptures is saying something, it says forever and ever, and you go to another part and it seems like it's saying something else, it has to match up. Just like the foundation. When you set a foundation of a house, everything has to fit perfectly together. You know, the scripture says, I think it's 1 Corinthians 1:10, but it mentions how we're all supposed to speak the same thing. 1 Corinthians 1:10. Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, that ye all speak the same thing, and that there be no divisions among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment. Just like your body is perfectly joined together, all of your joints, everything fits in a perfect way, the same way with the doctrine. You can't have one part of it and then the other part is wrong. Let's say you have a house and one part of the foundation is great, the other part of the foundation is shit. The house is going to fall apart. It might not happen immediately, but eventually over years, it's going to fall apart.
That's why the Lord said that they have reigned but have not sent them. There are prophets that the Lord did not set up to go prophesy. They're prophesying according to their own will. And eventually, the Lord's going to show the separation, right, by way of which prophecies are coming to pass, what is actually being true. And then ultimately by who is elected, who is actually the one that the Lord is going to deliver, who isn't. And that's how it's going to really fighting with each other. They shall my chosen you know.
Yeah, this is Psalm 46, start from verse 6. It says, the heathen rage, the kingdoms were moved, he uttered his voice, and the earth melted. The Lord Yahweh of hosts is with us, the God of Jacob is our refuge, Salah. Come and behold the works of the Lord Yahweh, what desolation he has made in the earth. He maketh war to cease unto the ends of the earth. He breaketh the bow, and he cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariots of fire. Be still and know that I am the Lord. I will be exalted among the heathens. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord Yahweh of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Salah. Yeah, that was a precept to how he's saying after the destruction, the kingdom of heaven shall be established. And this is pretty much what I went to bring up.
It said he maketh wars to cease. So affliction, another scripture says affliction shall not rise up again. So in their mind, no affliction will rise up. Even if they did rise up against us, what would it be? It would be a futile effort. We're going to be God. We're going to be perfect.
Yep. But that would defeat the whole purpose of us getting the kingdom in the first place. Right. Because what is when you get Isaiah 2? What is the name of Jerusalem? What does that mean? The Washington means teachers of peace. So if we're going to be the ones that's in rulership, and our rulership is going to be predicated off of the laws of the Lord, which the laws of the Lord sets the foundation of peace, and we're going to be implementing peace throughout the earth. Why is anybody going to rise up? The only one that can't learn is Esau Edom, and he's going to be base level. He's going to be now looking for about all these other nations. He's going to be lower than all of the other heathen that are subjected to him. And on top of that, Revelation 2 tells you that we're going to rule with a rod of iron. Imagine a shepherd having a rod to guide the sheep, but instead of a staff made out of wood, he's doing it out of iron. That's a vigorous and severe rulership. They're not going to have space to try to be out of line. Because as soon as you step out of line, then you're going to get that rod of iron on your head.
And I believe the word there for rod of iron in Revelation is rabdos, which deals with a severe and rigorous rulership.
It's a plumber.
It's calm.
Hey, but the Lord said that. He said, you should break them into shivers, even as I have received of my Father. Yahweh Shai was given the heathen for his possession. To do what? We were talking about this coming up. If the Lord said that these other nations without the knowledge are looked at as beasts, humans are just beasts. They're just a higher level of beasts. That's why you call Esau now, he called humans what? Human resource. The highest level of a resource is a mule is a resource, a dog is a resource, sheep are resources, humans are resources. But these resources were all created for Yahweh Shai to collect. So these nations, they were literally created for our benefit, for us to possess them and us to use them as a resource to build our kingdom. When we get into that power, when we get into the kingdom of heaven, they're not going to be able to be out of line of their purpose of their use.
Real quick. One, for the talking about the deliverance when y'all shall returns, and segue to other stuff. So this is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 16. It says, "For the Lord himself will come down from heaven." Oh shoot, that's not King James. It says, "For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead of Yahweh shall rise first." Now that didn't happen yet, right? So, and this is in 1 Thessalonians, and it's in relation to about deliverance, but that didn't happen yet. You know what I'm saying? That's when the Lord is going to bring all these instances where it talks about Israel being out of captivity. You know what I'm saying? And it says, verse 17 says, "Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord." Now the other nations are going to see this. That's going to be one of the main ways how their pride is going to be brought down. They're going to see the actual people that they've been oppressing, the people that have been at the bottom, come up actually from the bottom and ascend up with the Lord. That same powerful being, they're going to be like, yo, what the hell is that? How else can the pride of man be brought low? The power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai being present on the earth. It says, "Wherefore comfort one another these words." Now we go to Isaiah now, chapter 2, verse 17. It says, "And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be made low, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day." Now, how the nation gonna come against that? Yahweh Shai's gonna be present. There ain't gonna be no idols. Ain't gonna be nothing you can pray to. Ain't gonna be nothing you can run to. Ain't gonna be nothing you can do. And it says, in verse 18 it says, "The idols he shall utterly abolish." Abolish the idols. So all that Allah, all that Buddha, all that Jesus, he's going to know I'm the one true living God. I'm the first and the last. I am these people's God right here, and you now work for us. Right. We now control the earth. Right. Esau being brought low. The fucking Rothschilds, the elites, all down behind on the ground in chains. Just like how they did us. Yep. That's what's about to happen on the earth.
The Lord said all knees shall bow and every tongue shall confess. So you confessing that he's the Lord, that's you. You're literally saying like you're my master. There's nothing. Remember, Yahweh Shai is the express image of the living God. So you're going to actually see the express image of the one true living God, Yahweh. It's not even fighting against the Lord right now. The Lord is making you do all this. That's how low level you really are. You can't even fathom that you're being made to do this. Just like how Pharaoh's heart was hardened. Just so the Lord said, "What? I did this. I set you up to show my power." Okay, I'm gonna do it again to the one I hate.
Continue on, Isaiah chapter 2, verse 19, and then he says, "And they shall go into the holes of the rock." Now, what are these billionaires doing? Why everybody getting the hell out of America? All these celebrities, all these billionaires, why they leaving America where they profited so much? Is the profits, is the P-O-R-F-I-T-S, is that done? Are you now see that no more is to be done in America for you to be successful? Hollywood being exposed, all these billionaires leaving, going into taking all their stocks out of the markets, all this bullshit. It's like it's done. All right.
Countries de-dollarizing.
Right. Okay. Oh, you gonna put something up there?
That was an alley.
Okay.
So what is just in, right? It says Trump says BRICS countries will face 100% tariffs if they dare to create a new currency to replace the quote-unquote almighty, I think it says U.S. dollar.
Damn.
Yep. The mighty US dollar. Yep. So there you go. There's the physical and there's the
Yeah, the beast shall hit the water. That's it. You gotta say.
His look shall be more stopped than his fellows. He created 100% tariff. Remember, there's a lot of countries that are around the BRICS. Right, that are in BRICS. You got Saudi Arabia, you got India, China, Britain, Brazil, South Africa. Then you got a whole bunch that just added on this year. So they're all talking about de-dollarizing, going away from the dollar. He's talking about, I'm going to put 100% tariffs on you. That's a war tactic. You're weaponizing the dollar. Definitely. And also, that's going to cause a lot of less supplies here. Because remember, America is the #1 exporting, importing country in the world. So if you got these countries like China say, you know what, we're not sending that much of our stuff here because it costs us too much money, there's going to be a less supply, which means there's going to be a higher demand, and that's going to cause more people to be willing to go at each other because of great tribulation and lack of bread.
No, I was gonna say that, like Haran was saying, America always want to push our policy and make it seem like the whole world is like them. You know, like with the whole thing with Russia, they try to punk the other nations that are not even part of NATO to not deal with Russia anymore. And even during the Cold War, they told them, look, man, NATO's already set up, you gotta chill. We shouldn't expand NATO because you run the risk of causing World War III. America didn't listen. He said, let's try to show them that America's the boss, and then they started expanding, and now all of a sudden there's war. And because they do these things knowing that the war's not going to be aboard us. But the nations are saying, yo, this motherfucker out here is calling this shit out here. We got to deal with it. And he's over there across the ocean. You know, so they're seeing all these things going on. It's like, yo, this dude out here. And then the whole thing with the Amaleks. So they're seeing it like this man don't really give a shit about anybody. He's just doing things that benefits him. So the beast definitely shall hit the horn, man. They're connecting the dots, they're seeing a pattern, and their decision will be very, very on point with what the scripture says.
I was gonna say, like I made, that's we talk about the dollar de-dollarization, and in the midst of all this weird shit kicked up. And the reason why a lot of the world is not fucking with America right now is because of Amalek. Mainly the small heads of Israel and Ukraine. Because they said that the NATO countries are against all this, they wanted to stop. They want to like, escalate it. But what America's doing is they keep making it worse. Because you said America and I think Germany is the #1 supporters of the Ukraine war. And after Biden did that shit with the long range, that's what really caused everything really to be dismantled. Because they know that, yo, we don't got smoke for Russia. And Putin said a long time ago, we're ready to go to war with NATO. We already know this is coming.
Revelation 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come. You see, the nations are angry based off everything we've been speaking about. You alienated all your friends. You see, you're making them all, man, like, what the fuck I do to you? Because Esau, and this is again, it's like Pharaoh in ancient time, the Lord is elevating his pride to astronomical levels that he's never even been at before. Because this whole Trump thing, this is something that's never been seen before. You see, you have presidents that skipped the term and then they came back in, but not with this current climate. And not with all of the engine and the energy behind this guy. So now he's super puffed up.
If I may add, even what you're saying about Trump, when the previous presidents, whenever they place tariffs, the next president that comes in doesn't even take that tariff off. Because his mindset is like, I'm gonna use it to negotiate something in the future. Maybe in the future, if I got to negotiate, I'm gonna say, okay, well, I'm gonna take up that tariff. Rather than repairing the damage already made straight away, he's waiting to use that as a leverage. These fucking devils, man. You know.
And it said in the time of the dead, you know, dealing with we read about the dead bodies that were lying in spiritual, the city was a spiritual Sodom in Egypt. So these wicked people, they're all dead really from the neck up. And they're walking around and they're living their lives, but they don't have no sense of what's actually going on. It's just like we mentioned about the light in the beginning. It's like driving around at night with no car lights on. You setting up to crash into a tree, right? So going into the time of Jacob's trouble, if you don't got them lights on, you're not going to know where to go or what to do. And it says that they should be judged and that thou shouldest give a reward unto thy servants the prophets. So you have that dichotomy of the dead being judged and the prophets getting a reward. Wisdom of Solomon 18 mentions that in the same way that the Lord, paraphrasing it, in the same way that the wicked were judged, the righteous were delivered. So it goes hand in hand. We just read about a few verses up, all right, that the remnant were affrighted, but they were still up in that cloud. They were good. They were delivered.
That right here is to show you that tells you that the Lord had put revenge on Babylon for the prophets and the apostles. The ancient prophets and apostles were never in Babylon again. So that means that they had to be here today on the scene, just like how they were in the scene when the other king.
So they're impressed with the preterist doctrine, because they say that in the preterist doctrine, I forget the dude, it doesn't matter what his name was, but the preterist doctrine is that all the prophecies being fulfilled, so there's no more prophets. So, but that's just trying to cross out Yahweh Shai again, because this is Yahweh Shai speaking through his service to prophets. So if there's no more prophets, why are we seeing all these crazy world events? I would love to see what he has to say about what's going on with Russia right now. You see, but all of those other voices are becoming less and less, and the real voice of the Lord is becoming higher and higher and higher, and magnified. This is the only voice that matters. And it says, and to the saints, which are the Israelites, the elect, and them that fear thy name, small and great.
Well, in order to fear the name, you gotta know the name. The reason why we move a certain way is because we fear the name, we fear the Lord. And we just fear his name. We haven't even seen his name. And his name alone won't know. But in order to have that, you will have to actually have heard the name. And through the scriptures, we now understand, and even our personal lives, what power comes with that name. And the Lord is going to send Yahweh Shai back to show the actual power. So you got Israelites talking about the name, but I scorn it when I hear the name. You about to really scorn when you see the man whose name it is.
Somebody, name started by the bishop. Somebody just randomly just yelled bomb. Everybody would be alerted just by the name of that. If they cut the corner and say lion, everybody would go, we a lion, So because of what it represents, hearing the name alone already gives a certain feeling and hope to people. But because the Lord's name has been so long out of the earth, he needs to refresh that again. Similar to what he did in ancient Egypt.
And the reason why these people don't move is because they don't fear the name. It says that Noah, being warned of the Most High, moved fear. When we hear the name of the Lord, this is why we're out here. Because we are fearful of what he will and can do. And we don't want to be partakers of the judgment that is going to bring, the wrath. We want the mark of exemption. But the Lord said, I'm going to give a reward to them that fear my name. Because they feared, they started to discipline themselves in a way that appeased the Lord. Especially with what the blood of the Lamb. That's what I said. You want the thing done by the word of the testament. But these other people, especially our people, the wicked, they don't fear the name of the Lord. So they continue to go about in their wicked ways. But the Lord is not mocked. So So at the end of the day, you're going to fear him. But the problem is, the way you're going to fear him is going to be by your death.
And that's the power of a great father. Just to mention, the mother only got a he might not be around, but the mother, which you can liken that unto wisdom, which is mentioned in the name of the Lord, is mentioned in the name, and just hearing that name. Who did you mention? Oh, you talking about my father? That's the power of a great, stern father. You see? It's just like with my woman. My mom tells me when she's not around, when I'm not around, she'll bring me up, and my boys start kind of like getting shit together. And these women, they don't know how to discipline children. Because you can be away for a little bit, they're like, yo, he got away with this, that, he got ice. I'm like, what the fuck? And you get in the door, everybody acts right. You see, but that's gonna be how it is when the house shot comes back.
It's funny because the woman is like a nature wisdom really nurtures you to stay away from doing something. Right? When you actually do something wrong, the father comes and chastises you.
Yeah. And reading the last part, it says, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
Yep. And I always go to that word destroy. It goes into morally and ethically. And that's what Esau even did. He not only physically destroyed the earth, but he morally and ethically destroyed the minds of people. And this is why you have so much confusion and people just in there. They're drunk off of the Babylon the Great, off of the wine of fornication. But the water Yahweh Shai that he sobered us up through the Spirit, that we have the light, we have the understanding, and we know what is right and wrong. That's why it says in Malachi, we have to serve good and right and wrong and goodness and righteousness. That's us. Really, we can be those going to the end. And the Lord gives us that good leadership to rule the earth and establish the kingdom of righteousness. Because the scripture tells you that Esau and new heaven and new earth where it dwelleth righteousness. It's not like it's magically going to appear, righteousness is going to magically appear in the minds of people. There's going to be a government and an order of individuals starting with Yahweh Child, King David, and possibly the elect that are going to establish righteousness on earth. That's the new norm. Esau established wickedness, a wicked mind, a work of the minds, but the Lord will establish righteousness on earth. And that's why also it says in Revelation, righteousness is the judge of the good. Also, we got one praise God. So with that, we all praise and honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Makakadash.
Next time, Shalom for the elect.
Sure.